Hello, everybody. We have no names currently. I'm sure that will get fixed very soon, but you know who we are. Welcome to We Love BTB. Not EHL, but we are helping them out. We're doing a bit of an English broadcast here. You know them guys as the French guys that put on very difficult competitive BTB tournaments. I don't know. Have you ever played in any of them? Gone?
I think I might have played with one before with like Lunny, Marine, Warlord, and that lot, like one of the very first ones. So,
Right. I've subbed in for this. We'll introduce you to the team soon. But I've subbed in for one of these teams before. Last season, I played 4 or 5 of the weeks. Not going to say how I did. I wasn't bottom of the team for a lot of the time. But yes, I've played with CATSMILEGAMING. Love those guys. And honestly, it's a really good event. But one thing you learn is you don't know the simplest thing about BTB until you've played BTB with these guys. Because I don't think we're seeing them today, but there was some of the teams that we were playing against in the last season that were just absolutely smashing us. And they're guys that, I'd play 4v4 ranked against and smash them any day of the week. You hop on BTB, suddenly they're outflanking me. They're getting themselves the power weapons. They're turning up in a Wraith that I didn't even know was on the map. Absolutely insane. But we are playing Forge maps here. So, what I'd like to do, before we talk about the teams, because we can talk about that as we're loading into the game, let's talk about the map pool first. So if Pod would be ever so kind as to bring the map pool up, let's have a little look at these. So, some of these maps I am aware of because I have played them in the past, and I'll try to explain them to the best of my ability. So, our first map is going to be Watchers. This is a CTF1 flag, so a little bit different to what we see from the normal HCS game modes. I'm a bit of a fan of one flag, and I think it works quite well in BTB because it's just so chaotic. So, I actually am not familiar with that map. Are you familiar with the map at all, Gon?
Watchers, no. I'm trying to look at these maps, like just seeing where it's going, and I think I know maybe one of them.
Right. Okay, well, I know a little bit more. So let's hop on to Eden. So I believe this was a map, I want to say from Halo 5, could be Halo 4. It's a very simple, actually quite a small map for BTB. We are doing 8v8, so this is traditional BTB, not
I know two maps now.
Halo
As soon as
Infinite
you said that
12v12.
one, yeah, I
Sorry?
know Eden. I know Eden.
Okay, perfect. So it's got quite a small inside area with kind of like an open middle section and then a diamond shape around the outside. It has warthogs on either side that allow you to run the flag quickly. Flags on both sides, but we are looking at Slayer for this version, so that doesn't really come into it. But the warthogs are still very powerful. There's also a camouflage in the middle. Works quite well. A very sort of gun battle heavy map. We then hop on to Incubus. Incubus is a very interesting map. It has teleporters into those small towers on either side, which you can just see actually in the picture at the top, that allow you to sort of teleport asymmetrically into the corners of the map that the two bases are not in. You then have this sort of bridge in the middle, which is what the focus of the image is right now, where you have an upper layer and a lower layer and sort of a bottom sort of undergilly, I want to say. Almost like it's going over a bridge of water, but there's no water there. As well as a few little buildings that you can sit in and sort of snipe on. You can climb onto roofs and stuff like that. It works quite well. It's quite nice actually as a King of the Hill map because, for example, that middle section of the bridge is one of the hills, and that's really quite fun to try and defend and attack. We then hop onto Peatland. I'm not sure if Peatland is a remake, but it has very like Valhalla kind of vibes. Works quite nicely. Again, it's got those kind of traditional Halo beam towers in it. Again, we're going for CTF1 flag, where you have to go into one of those beam towers, grab the flag, teleport it round. There is a couple teleporters in the map as well, which works quite well. And then we also have Rat's Nest, and I'll let you explain Rat's Nest because I'm sure you know what Rat's Nest is.
Yeah, Rat's Nest is the one that I've played. Now, I personally don't know it massively, but I know Calpin has told me a lot about it before. It's one that a lot of people have, obviously, as you say, played before. Everyone knows it. You have that closed off middle building, bunch of bridges that go into it. It kind of gets really hectic towards the middle of the map. But on the outside, you have like this way where you can obviously drive the warthogs that are there, mongoose that are there, and it gets really hectic around the outside. But as soon as you go inside, this is obviously going to be a Slayer, so I'm predicting they're going to stick more toward the inside. It goes so hectic. There's grav hammers last time I played it, camos. There's an overshield, I believe, in it, perhaps. But it's just an absolute cluster. Everybody running around. You can hide around in corners, do jumps in the middle of that. And I like Rat's Nest. That's the one where when I first saw this, I was like, I've played Rat's Nest. And if you get a warthog set up on this one side, and you can just look through the middle buildings, and you can just beam and absolutely slay out with that warthog. You know, kind of spawn trap the enemy team. Which in BTB you can get away with a spawn trap, whereas obviously in 4v4, which I come from, you can't really always do that with the way that it works. But in BTB, you know, you definitely can. It would be interesting if we get there to see if that happens.
Yeah. I've played this again. Actually, I think against this R8R team, and honestly, it's a little bit chaotic. I think when we played it, we just got absolutely spawn trapped into the corners, just as you were kind of explaining there.
Yeah,
And it wasn't fun. Just you spawn up, you can't even get across the little kind of vehicle depot area to get into your base. You can't get into that cover, and it just totally turns into an absolute. It's not very fun. So if we do make it there, we'll see how that goes. But honestly, this could be a 3-0 knowing these teams. I'm going to ask you for prediction in a little bit, but speaking of teams, let's hop across and have a look at them, shall we? So our first team we have here is CATSMILEGAMING. A few EU legends here from the 4v4 scene that we might see. So I believe we have T. Calpin subbing in today for Outcasted, who is on his way. Not sorry, subbing in for Spiteful, who is on his way to Worlds, which is happening next weekend. Starting tomorrow even, which
yeah.
I'm very excited for. So plenty of Halo to watch this weekend. And then we also have Connor Chaos CV. We have Scarcity, Harshly, Frenzied, Icy, Outcasted, Warlord, and that is our team of 8. So all very well known EU players, all play at the top of their game, trying themselves out at some BTB. So I know when we first started playing with these guys, the maps were a major disadvantage. Like playing against teams that know these maps is a real challenge, and I'm hoping that as we kind of move on to get later in this open, I know that this is kind of the second big open they played in from the one they played last year or earlier in this year. I'm not sure quite when it happened. They would have picked up some of these maps and will be at least a little bit better at them. So we'll see how this goes. And the other team is R8R. Do you want to go through the guys on R8R?
I'm not actually sure who is on R8R, but I'm wondering, is that Dino's team at all, or is he on a different one of the R8R teams?
Well, let me read through the players because I'm in the lobby. Sorry, I just remembered
Yeah,
you can't see that, so that makes that a lot
that's
more
alright.
difficult for you. So we have a few of these guys have it kind of as a clan tag. And as far as I'm aware, they're kind of more BTB players. I have seen them appear occasionally in our sort of HCS and 4v4 tournaments, but they're definitely more of a BTB squad anyway.
Yeah.
So we have Fuzi. I'm assuming that's how you say that. So if I get any of these wrongs, I do apologize. Fuzi, AZ Kiram, Species, R8R 117X, R8R Alex, R8R Snip, Walters, maybe, and Insanity. So I recognize some of their names from just playing matchmaking and from the previous We Love BTB tournament we played in.
Yeah.
But honestly, right now I'm looking at this thinking they've got a bit of an uphill battle, especially if these guys on CATSMILEGAMING have adapted more to BTB than when I last played with them. That's how it might go. But, I'm open to have some upsets, and honestly, I hope it is a pretty close battle, because that'll make it better.
Yeah, I am. I am actually kind of familiar with a few of those players on the R8R roster. That AZK Kurim guy and R8R Alex. I've played them quite a lot. They actually have a lot of individual skill, which can really obviously help them to perform for their team. And I think, yeah, like you say, these guys play a lot of BTB as well as the 4v4, and it's going to be interesting to get them in some vehicles that maybe the Calpins, the Outcasts, and Warlords aren't always 100% comfortable on. Maybe it levels up the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to hop into the game as quick as we can. We're just, facing a little bit of EAC goodness, so we'll get there as quick as we can. But I think you're exactly right there. I think the difference between having this BTB setup versus 4v4 is there's just more players to keep you track of. And realistically, you can't really keep track of 8 players, right? So you're going to get shot more in the side. You're going to be caught in more team fights. It's not going to be you versus 1 or 2 people. It could be you versus 3, 4, 5 people even. In which case, you're just going to die before you can even get shot off. So it really does change the way you play. And again, if they haven't adapted to it by now, this could go really, really differently. Perfect. So just getting this game set up.
Yeah, definitely. And I like to say, obviously, these R8R guys, some of them maybe we don't see often in 4v4 and that, so maybe they're more used to, just running around. And I know sometimes on teams, you can make kind of like small little groups where you go off in a section, there's like three of you, you communicate with each other, and then there's like the other 4 or 5 of you sat in another call sometimes, and they'll chat to each other and things like that, and it kind of becomes like kind of a mini game of how you want to go about it. There is some strategy to BTB, which to me is wild because I never think of BTB as this thing where obviously there is the strategy. And, some teams like you say they're just there, they're playing, they're vibing, and other times they're 5 man and you're just one guy on your own going, oh yeah, I kind of forgot that I can't keep track of all these people.
I do find it really interesting actually how this has kind of developed because it is very much a French centric game mode, which is really weird to say, right? But obviously we've got the guys at Halo Finland, we've got the guys at the Polish Halo guys, we've got the German Halo guys, we've got Halo Italia, you got even the Spanish community. Like, there's a lot of different kind of sectors, but everybody's all kind of aligned with playing ranked 4v4 for the HCS Opens, except the French guys who have this massive passion for playing BTB. I mean, they've got a LAN that they're planning to do in January, which will be the culmination of this kind of open season. And honestly, I love it, right? I love the passion. I love that it exists. I'm hope that we can support them more through what we are trying to do here at EHL, and I'm hoping that we can get some more support kind of funnel through from 343, maybe get some drops for their events and such like that. Really to just bring some visibility to this, because I think, honestly, people would really enjoy watching it, because I enjoy watching it, and that's why I'm really looking forward to this matchup when we get it ready.
Yeah, and am I right in thinking they've somehow expanded this to North America slightly? I think they tweeted out, I saw this tweeted out when they created it. I think they were looking at something in North America, so I'm wondering if they've kind of built a little bit of a fan base like elsewhere as well, because like you say, we have the Finland, the Spain, Italia. It'd be nice to see sort of like these things. Obviously, I'm not going to say a World Cup of it, but it'd be nice to see some players from Italian, from the Finnish scene, like maybe come and make a little team, even if it is just maybe grouped together.
And you know what's even more impressive? What's even more impressive is the fact that they are able to get so many teams of 8 people. And to be fair, I say 8. The actual answer is 12 because they have 4 subs allowed, throughout the entire season. So this made teams of 12 people for an open event like this, considering it's hard enough to get teams of 4 people to play in HCS. So, to be honest, I mean, let's have a look. I believe there's 6 teams overall for this season. Let me have a look. I do have all the teams listed here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correctly, so they have 8 teams for this open. So that's 8 times 12. We're looking at quick maths. 80, 96, 100, right? 100, yeah, 112, 102. 102, which is like an insane number. 106. Insane number of teams realistically as we're looking, compared to what we would normally expect to see from like a HCS. So honestly, I'm really excited that they have this going, and I'm excited to watch some Halo. And let's get into this first one, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. An outcasted show, and he is definitely not a BTV player. He doesn't know where he's going straight away. But it's nice. You just see the R8R guys run. Well, remember, each guy's ran all the way with that Warthog to the other side, and then everybody who's used to the 4v4, which I'd say CATSMILE is more of like the 4v4 style, kind of ran up this middle bridge. And yeah, I'm just excited to watch a bit of Halo. But this is one flag, and it's BTB, and honestly, it might be quick, but we do have a hectic minute, so as they did look like they were going to get it.
Yes, apologies for what's happening right now. We have some problem with our POV feed, so we're just giving you a bit of fly-through coverage whilst we wait for that POV feed to kind of come across for you guys. But yes, we are doing one flag, so it looks like we have CATSMILEGAMING on the offensive with R8R trying to defend, and we will try to get an understanding of how this map plays. This is the only map that neither of us know how it works, so give us a little bit to kind of get this through our head and work out exactly how we're going through. But it looks like we have this kind of middle bridge structure where we have CATSMILEGAMING trying to push through as far as they can and really get themselves a nice foothold, maybe at the edge of this bridge, try to trap R8R into their base and get as much damage down as they can do.
Absolutely. I'd tell you what, watching this already is making me kind of want to play BTB. I can see how they get so many players playing. You know, it just kind of looks fun. You know, you're just running about. There's nice open space. You're not gonna get trapped anywhere. It seems too much. And, you know, you can just make these sneaky plays as wow. Exactly what you're saying. Like there's 4 guys fighting Warlord right there, and obviously he doesn't have. Yeah, like you say, not too 100% confident in this map, but there's so many like different routes, different levels to it, and it just makes this kind of a fun watch.
Yeah, alright, so we're back with POV. So we can actually get some actual kind of gameplay going on here. So it looks like we're following Warlord here on Team CATSMILEGAMING. You guys know who he is, Coachman himself. And honestly, kills really kind of favouring CATSMILEGAMING currently. But I don't know why I said 1 flag. There is 2 flags in this match. We've probably not played 1 flag. And neither team has managed to get a flag in, but we have had flag pulled from both sides. So, you know, we might see something happen here soon. I hope we do. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure which way this is going to go now, because I was kind of thinking CATSMILEGAMING might just storm this one, but they seem to be having some struggle to push through this R8R front line.
Yeah, absolutely, and I thought Chaos was going to do some mad jump there, show us some tech, like he's been in a custom game trying this map, but there's just so many deep corners and deep plays, and this is just, you thought CATSMILE maybe would have walked this, but you know, there's rockets on the map, there's 2 snipers on the map, all of these weapons that maybe we don't often get to see used at the same time on maps, and now we do. You know, we got thrusters, not sure what else is available on this map, you know, learn as we go, but thrusters, snipers, rockets, warthogs, the vehicles, yeah, just as we swap over to one, it's so much, and it's, I'd still expect CATSMILE to maybe come out with this one. It's such a slow pace, so soothing, relaxing, honestly, and kind of fun to watch and see what they're figuring out as they maybe work this map for some of the players.
Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye here on Calpin. He does have a sniper. I'm hoping to see him go on a bit of a mad one. The thing with BTB is you can go quite high in the kill count, because people just kind of stand around a lot of the time, don't really know where to go. So maybe we might see that be a little bit differently if these guys have, you know, practice playing a bit more BTB than usual, but still, there's actually not a massive amount of cover for the amount of players we have on the map. I'm interested to see if the Warthogs come into play national maps. We did see a couple kills come through for Icy there on the back of the Warthog on CATSMILEGAMING side, but really you want to use those Warthogs to get the flag across the map if you can. You know, get someone to run up there, grab that flag, hop into the passenger seat, and once you get a bit of a spread going, you're pretty hard to stop, to be honest.
Where did he come from behind Outcasted there? Is there teleporters on this map, or is that just one of those so many routes you can get behind all the players?
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine.
Wait, is this a jump he's going to make here as well? Scarcity might have been playing this map, like he makes a jump here. It might have been easier than I thought, but honestly, that looked like a lot harder of a jump to make originally. I was kind of excited there.
I'd like to think they've put some practice into it. This is a proper competitive tournament, you know. There's like money at stake here. This isn't just, you know, your dad's casual scrub BTB match. This is an actual money tournament where they get to go for a nice little land by Gamers Advantage down in France. But you know, you got to bet you all into this. You got to get the scrims out.
Sorry, coffee weather is really more. But yeah, like I say, definitely get some practice involved and that. And I know some of these players would. Obviously, there's a few subs for the CATSMILE roster. One of them that isn't playing today. I know actually spends a lot of his time playing BTB. You know, maybe Icy Vermin, Frenzied and that. Definitely, you know, playing BTB a little bit, Outcasted as well. I've seen him playing it a bit more recently. Okay, definitely with a LAN coming up, shout out Gamers Advantage for that. They're doing great things when they get bit of 8v8 at LAN, that is gonna be hectic but beautiful to see at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I've
players
seen
just opposite one another, right?
I've seen the event, and it, like, from last year, and it did look like insane amounts of fun. They also have a nice stage there for the finals to watch, which is great. I do enjoy it. I just realised, if you want to shout out Apo from one of the Finnish guys, thanks for the few little gifted subs there. I hope people will see and enjoy that. Thanks for all the support. Really helps us put on kind of little events like this. We have support from the French, support from the Finnish. You love it. Europe is really alive right now, and we have Worlds coming up, so I can't wait for it to carry on and just get that passion taken into the new year. But what I think is going to be really interesting is how long can these R8R guys CATSMILEGAMING away from their base? Because, again, looking at the kill streak still favours CATSMILEGAMING, and I'm hoping that R8R... I mean, they just look like they just have a flagpole, so maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe kills don't matter. Maybe all we're looking at is pure, raw ability to make the most out of your life.
Yeah, and I was going to say, R8R were the first team to have a look teammate. I was going to say, they were the first team to obviously make a pull on, like, the original flag. And, like I say, maybe kills aren't everything in this, but you'd like to think that if you are getting, you know, multiple opposing players down, it's going to make this capturing of the enemy flag a lot quicker and easier for you. But they are proving that in 8v8, it only takes a couple of you to be up, you know, with so much damage going down. You can just shoot anyone and everyone. You can't easily get away and, you know, keep life.
That is part of the problem, right? I mean, there's people here that do kind of know what they're doing in BTB as well. I mean, for example, Warlord, I know you have quite a bit of experience with a little Warlord Smurf game there. As he tries to make those accounts, you know, get through their several games and get the required number of XP to kind of level up, he used to be playing a lot of BTB. So he used to be sitting there at night begging people to go and play BTB with him in the corner. I remember that. So he's definitely played a good amount and knows exactly kind of how to be positioned this. And I'm sure him and his brother are really, you know, stimulating that conversation throughout the team and making sure they know what they're doing. Whereas someone like a T. Calvin, who's hopped in as a sub, is going to be a little bit more interesting. One thing I want to point out, Scarcity died there, he got ran over. Did you see who he got ran over by?
No. Was it his teammate by any chance?
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. It wasn't a guy on R8R. It was, in fact, outcasted on CATSMILEGAMING.
Oh, Steve. Oh, outcasted. I had seen him struggling to maneuver those vehicles a little bit around this map. So maybe he needs to stick to his feet on the ground and let maybe Frenzy, who I know has definitely played this, you know, he's known as a quote-unquote plan kid himself, so Frenzy kind of maybe having a lot more experience in BTB. Maybe let him drive the vehicles a little bit. He's actually taking the lead in the lobby for kills right now.
I was just about to say that.
Having some fun, for sure.
27 kills.
Yeah, absolutely, Reed. And that is, in this, like you said, obviously you can get those numbers up, but somebody like Harshly, who, you know, in 4v4s, Harshly is quite well known, you know, having like triple his kills is kind of insane to see. You would have thought maybe Harshly would be the one dropping a few more numbers just off of that, but as you say, those players that have practiced this, they play BTB more often, are definitely showing out right now and showing up. This is fun, like I say, it's definitely making me want to maybe get involved with the next one, and maybe I'm hitting up a few of them Finnish and Italian players, and we're making a completely full European roster, and we're going to take on
I love it, and thank you Perk there for the little raid. Really appreciate it. Bringing the people to come see some BTB action. See your favourite EU players that didn't quite make it to Worlds compete in a BTB tournament instead. No flame there, and yeah, no flame.
Warlord. And I'm sure you will. But no, yeah, this is so hectic, and there's 25 seconds left. I think we've had, what feels like maybe 5 or 6 flag pulls in total. And I think the closest one was R8R, right at the very start of the game, where they snuck around the outside of the map. And now again, as they tried to sneak through, but they are going to be caught out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're solo walking down a small corridor with Scarcity at the end of it and a BR in his hand, that's going to be a really hard fight to take, especially when you're not even holding your gun out, right? Like, Scarcity's not going to miss anything. He just perfected them easy, like it was just any other day of the week. What I would love to see right now is somebody in chat tell me exactly what happens here in a tie-break situation. So if we get past the 5 minutes and no flag is taken, I'm not 100% sure what happens. I did know in the past, but I don't want to misremember. So any of the French guys that are popping in chat, any of the We Love BTB admins, if you could let us know, that would be great.
Speculators there, teaming up, they take the water. That's something nice to see. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what happens in the event of a tie either. I'd imagine we don't have to replay it massively again, but then maybe there is, like, you know, between the We Love BTB guys, there's a little ruling, but it's going to be a camo pool actually for Insanity.
I love this. Oh, I was gonna say that might work, but the nade revealed him. He did manage to get the flag onto the grav lift, so that's been taken across the map. His teammate has picked that up. 117 has it in his back pocket. He's gonna try and jiggle that as quick as he can throughout the map. Observer's furiously trying to find where he is. Chaos tries to push through. He gets taken down by Walters. That flag continues on the move. It's important. We are in overtime, so even if the flag goes in, we could still see. It looks pretty safe to me.
Yeah, Outcasted just running in to try and pull that flag, but 7 people in front of him, Reed. You're right, that was safe.
Oh, the BM. I think he's... Oh, no, he's trying to find where to put the flag. How do I get up there? There we go.
Wait.
Flag in. Nice. That means he didn't even have to wait for the flag to return before he could put that flag in. That's hilarious. Either way, the kills are now coming through pretty one-sided for R8R. They have 3 minutes, CATSMILEGAMING, to make sure they can get a counter cap. If they get a counter cap here, then we'll be back into that tiebreak situation. But considering we had 12 minutes of no caps, this is going to be pretty scary. I'm not quite sure exactly where this is going to go, but I'd like to see some response through here from CATSMILEGAMING, considering they do have the kill lead by a decent margin here.
Yeah, but I think R8R now, the Remember Reach Noble guys, are just kind of, you know, sit back, push forward once they get a couple of kills, and then just kind of take it easy. Like you say, 12 minutes went by. We had 5 flag pulls, maybe a couple more, but no real success until this overtime, and now they've taken that 1-0 lead. But I say that the kills are going in place. And I'm going to say it again, I'm going to be like a broken record. I just want to play that because the way that this is going, it's so fun, so exciting, and 4 players down, 3 even for CATSMILE. It's going to be tough, but there's a stick. No, frenzied. I was hoping for the double.
Even so, you can't stop at that. That was
he's got it stuck again. No, outcasted. That's the second time I've seen you get that warthog stuck, and it's in the same place. It actually hurts to see. He's not been practicing as much as I thought he had been there, Reed. Gotta learn where you can get that stuck. But yeah, you know, it's looking right now. Remember Reach maybe just putting down in their place and relaxing a little bit. Taking their foot, well, not taking their foot off the gas, in fact putting it on the gas and kind of slaying out the CATSMILEGAMING team and trying to take a 1-0 lead. I was not really expecting. I thought maybe CATSMILE, just because of the players, maybe I know them a little bit more, that they would take it a little bit easier. But then this is the 3rd and 4th currently in the standings for the We Love BTB winter number 4 open. So perhaps the Remember Reach Noble team are really showing that they're currently 3rd while CATSMILE are 4th for a reason. Yeah, this might be a fun game for the continuation of this series because we got 40 seconds down on the clock, and it's still 1 flag for Remember Reach. and they're just trading out kills right now as they kind of sit back and, like I say, just kind of take control and turtle up in their base.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, there's not really any sign of CATSMILEGAMING. Why did I open my mouth? Okay. There is one chance here for CATSMILEGAMING as they bring their Warthog into the enemy base. They're going to try to do as much damage as they can, but there's so much cover. These players on R8R are living up just a little bit longer. Calpin's going to try and get a flag pull. He can't quite make it through there. Harshly, he's going to give his go. He's going to give a shot. He doesn't make it through. He gets taken down as well. Flag does get pulled there by somebody. Not quite sure who it was. They died anyway. It was Outcasted, I think. And a last-ditch effort there by Frenzied in the Warthog isn't quite well enough. That is 1-0 here to R8R. We did end up going into overtime, but honestly, not what I would have predicted, but it is worth saying, as I reiterated earlier, these BTB teams are different. They practice this day in, day out. They know how to coordinate 8 players, and it is just that little bit different than doing 4.
Yeah, and I think you really saw at the end. Obviously, Outcasted got that Warthog stuck, but it's Frenzied, maybe showing that he's the one on CATSMILE to kind of take charge of this team and show them the ropes of BTB. Because he got the Warthog unstuck, he had his teammate in the back, and he was kind of dictating the play to even give them that chance. Yeah, they're gonna need a Frenzied absolute masterclass to help them maybe take out this thing. Because like you say, these players, they play a lot of BTB, and I might be asking one of them for a meta 5 for BTB rather than Warlord right now, because Lord knows I need that.
Better tighten up your French there a little bit. Oui.
I'll be asking Sunrise as soon as he gets back. I'm like, I need those French lessons again, please.
Sunrise is going to come back with that trophy, and he's going to be way too big to speak to the likes of you. You know, they're going to come back with that nice gold trophy, nice little embossed HCS worlds on the side of it.
Ascending
baseline jersey.
Tell you what, in fact, Sunrise still owes me a BH3 jersey, while I remember. I have to DM him about that before he gets too big now, Reed.
I have no idea who BH3 are. Don't know what you're on about. I only know about Ascending Baseline EU.
Shout out to Ascending Baseline.
Appreciate the help you're giving our boys.
But yeah, obviously this second map, this was a Eden Slayer, right? If I remember the map set. Yeah, Eden Slayer, which, as you say, is definitely a Halo 5 map, which I've definitely played a lot, so I'm interested to see how they've kind of like scaled it up to make it work for BTB now, because that map, you know, a few vehicles on it, scaled up, 8v8, definitely an exciting time and something to watch, for sure. Did you say you've maybe played it once or twice at all? When you filled in? Yeah.
Yeah, I played it twice, 3 times, something like that. It's interesting. It really does snowball quite heavily. It can be quite easy to get yourself stuck in a rhythm where you're just kind of going out of your base, running into kind of setups. It's quite easy to get setups because you have lots of small, tight spaces as well as the outside area. That Warthog is super powerful. I mean, I'm talking like maybe 7 kills, but when you're talking like a first to 75, first to 100, I can't remember exactly what it is.
I think it's...
Then you know, 7 kills up, which we can get a Warthog, is actually very effective. Especially if people get caught out in the open with those spawns, because the spawns spawn on the other side of the sort of vehicle area, and that makes such a big difference that you wanna make sure that if that Warthog is out, you're getting into cover as quick as possible. Or grabbing yourself those sticky nades, because that is really how you take down the Warthog quite quickly.
Yeah. And is there any like shock rifle or dynamo grenades at all in this? Like the shock
Not sure about dynamo grenades. I don't remember there being a shock rifle. There's a sniper that spawns on one of the non-spawning corners, because imagine it like a diamond. So you have 2 bases on either side. Sniper and rockets, maybe. I want to say sniper is at least one sniper. Maybe it's rockets, and then there was a camo in the middle. The camo is less important for BTB as it's hard to really like catch individual players out because just of how people move in BTB. But obviously, when you look at like a CTF, the camera is a lot more important. So the fact that we're doing Slayer on this map does make a bit of a difference. I mean, for example, the reason we saw that R8R flagpole was pretty much down to the Slayer, down to the camo. Was able for them to get that just over to the grav lift, shoot it across the map, and then have their teammate pick it up.
Yeah, absolutely. absolutely. So, like you say, if anybody, you're here, you're watching, you want to learn, look for what the players do with a warthog on this map in that open area, and maybe if they get control of that sniper and that rockets as well as having the warthog out there, it can get out of hand pretty quickly by the sounds of it.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. I just want to refer to chat a second. So sorry if I've not been paying too much attention as I should have been. EU Assault. Yes, I'm not Captain James Force. I know you love him so badly, but he was busy today. We have Gon instead. Gon is a good replacement for James. He knows these players better than James does. He plays with them. He has Marine in his lobbies more often than the rest of us, so he knows exactly what's going on in this. And you should be appreciative of the fact that we've got Gon's nice time here to support us. And the score currently Electropode is 1-0 for R8R. This is the best of 5. And welcome to the chat, Installation 00. I actually have DM'd you on Discord, and you have not replied to me. So I'm going to out you on stream for that. It was only related to your little tournament you did, because we would love to support you with our brand here for that tournament that you ran and get you some help in hand, because I saw you did some stuff for charity, which I thought was absolutely amazing. Anyway, let's focus in on this. So we are here with map number 2. We are hopping into Eden, and we are on board with Team CATSMILEGAMING to kick us off.
Yeah, and Chow Marine as well is. What are they doing with these warthogs?
That's not how you drive a warthog.
I'm thinking Marine needs to come and pull out his BTB prowess and show these guys how to work it, because CATSMILE don't look as strong without him right now on this. But yeah, he did say in chat as well, shout out to Marine for that. This isn't based off the H5 map, which is obviously the only reason I know the name Eden as a map. So this is a completely custom map, so definitely excited. Like you say, that open area we just saw, with the warthogs, and now all these pillars. So as open as it is, there are some good pillars to hide behind, and then maybe get yourself. That is a naughty little corner. But yeah, so there's like some deep corners on this map, and I guess he's just gonna take the warthog all the way around the outside while CATSMILE are just enjoying the luxuries of inside right
now. Indeed, it will. Now, Slay's pretty even on both sides so far. We haven't seen a massive difference here with any of the kind of power weapons. I mean, we saw the Warthog from R8R Noble kind of lasting a little bit longer. That was a good help for them. But it looks like in terms of who's in each other's base, it is the guys in CATSMILEGAMING that are all over R8R Noble. But the problem is they haven't quite got enough people there, which means they are fighting a lot of 1v2s and somehow coming out of it on top. But here comes Alex. He's on a Warthog. He'll take down a few of them. There's a lot of them in the respawn screen, but I think that Warthog has given them a little bit of breathing room. Hopefully they can kind of regain some composure and get a little bit more positioning here, ready for this rest of this Slayer match.
Yeah, and this map looks like it's full of kind of big, I say big, just full of jumps and kind of tight corners and tight alleyways to get stuck in. CATSMILE are really just trying to take control of them and force R8R into their crosshairs, which I think definitely suits the players of a Warlord, of an Outcast. Just force these players to run into your pre-aims, your lines of sights, and I say that Outcast had started 10-0, obviously just died there, so he's 10-1 now. That's got to give you that little bit of a boost, and when you're up 11 on the scorecards, going 10-0 is quite good to start the game.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things to say here for the old team captain, Mr. Outcast, and he is doing a great job of supporting his team, getting them in the right positions, and then farming all the kills from them. But we do have a few more weapons here about to come back up, and it looks like R8R have a little bit of breathing room. It's just Scarcity and Calpin now left in their base. If they can deal with those two, as I say that, Scarcity gets another kill on the board and is still alive. If they could just get rid of them, they might be able to get themselves over to the middle of the map. But Scarcity's just dealing so much damage down here onto player after player, making sure they are weak and ready for his teammates just to clean them up. Connor is sat on the other side of this little center section for them, and Connor is cleaning up house in that position. He's still alive. Another couple kills there for Outcasted. He's now up to 12. We are nearly at 50 kills for CATSMILEGAMING, while R8R Noble are struggling to break 30.
Yeah, frenzied the guy who had a really good CTF there. Does go down, but by looking at the bottom, I'm now gonna say it is to 100 kills read. It's not the 75 that I thought it might be. So we are gonna enjoy this, but it's gonna be almost double the enemy's kills that CATSMILE have, and as it's now a 20 kill lead, it's looking like it could be quick, but it's also looking like there's a chance it can just turn around in no time, because R8R now have control of that inside, and they also have a couple of players keeping an eye on power weapon spawns in the outside flank. Unfortunately, I say that I may be cursing them, as a few of these players are getting taken down with a little bit of relative ease, but as I'm saying that, there's a ninja by Scarce again. Hello. And then I see Vermin even with a ninja as well, so there's a few of those going about here in this slate. Which, like you say, it's hard to keep track of all 8 players all the time, so a lot more chance for those to happen.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like inherent non-verbal communication, I expect the team on CATSMILE Gaming to have a little bit more experience, just from playing so much ranked general HCS. They're gonna have a better vibe as to where people are, where they should be, just from positioning their teammates. So even if you can't get that kind of communication you'd want to get through in an 8-person, I mean, I don't even know if it's all sat in one big Discord call. They might be keeping it separate. Who knows? Then you really need that non-verbal communication to come through, because you just can't have 8 people comment all at once. It's going to be pure chaos. But power weapons have been favouring the side of CATSMILE Gaming so far. You did see rockets, snipe, and camo fall to them in that last spawn. We did also see the sizzle sticks, so that answers your questions about do they exist in this map. Yes, they do. They're going to be super effective against those warthogs. But R8R having a nice little spree there. They have brought this up from, what was it, 20, 30 lead? 30 gap to, you know, nearly a 15. They have themselves in the little spawn base here of CATSMILE Gaming, and if they can establish a strong position here, take down a few of those CATSMILE Gaming guys in a bit of a loop, you might see them do a better job here of keeping alive. We do have the QT here also on the map, which is different from when I played. I believe QT wasn't in the game when I played, so I wonder if that's going to make a massive difference. If you can get yourselves to teleport behind the enemy base into their spawn, it just can totally disrupt their spawn cycle and enable your team to really get control of that central area that we were talking about just a second ago.
Yeah, and it's also just like, I feel like maybe in an 8 vs 8, it can be a get out of jail free card as well, because if you maybe pop it around and have like 2-3 of your teammates around it, in an 8 vs 8, you're almost guaranteed, you know, to just get back to your teammates and kind of stay alive more than you are in 4, I feel. So yeah, but as we were talking, CATSMILE back up to a 27 kill lead currently, 26. And R8R did really well to pull it down to about 13, maybe even 10 kills at one point. But CATSMILE have just got control of that inner part of the map again. They're keeping control of the bridges for outside, which was a little different how R8R did. You know, they are now back in the lead, 9 more kills. But I wouldn't say it's completely over just yet. Barring some insane choke out of them, I wouldn't say it's over if R8R can get a trap on that you were saying. But it's not looking like CATSMILE are even going to afford them.
Yeah, it would have to be the choke of a century. CATSMILE, they don't want to throw this away. They are still playing quite tactically, but they can get enough damage down. They can just get enough trades even. I mean, they're looking at 30... kills needed for R8R, 3 CATSMILE Gaming, that's 10 times the number of kills. It's very impressive they don't quite do it. 1 more kill to go. Oh, it doesn't quite come through there for Outcasted. He does drop. There we go, final kill in the pocket, 100 to 72. A pretty dominating show there from CATSMILE Gaming, carrying on from what we saw in that first map of them just being the better slaying team. We are now 1-1 in this series, and that is worth mentioning. You know, we do have Slayers being effective, but there is more non-Slayer games. There's only 2 Slayers in this best of 5, so if CATSMILE Gaming can't pull it together for those objective games, it'll all be for nothing.
But the next one is a King of the Hill read, and I'm wondering if maybe CATSMILE can get away with just outslaying in a King of the Hill, right? Because, yes, okay, it's harder to track the 8 players, but if you're slaying the enemy team that amount of time with a centralized objective, maybe there's a chance that this is the one they can steal away out of the two because it looked like on flag those R8R teams were they didn't care if they got to turtle up in their base and took the lead. They were happy.
I kind of agree with you, but one thing I think is worth saying is that King of the Hill on this map especially, I'll try to remember what the name is because I cannot remember for the life of me. It is called Incubus. Thank you. It is an interesting map because there's lots of towers, so you can kind of build your own little fort, and you can kind of get good sight over where the hill is. And the hill in this is so small for 8 players that 8 players worth of nades is enough to clear it 20 times over. So provided you can get your team close enough, it's actually quite hard to maintain that hill. But if you can get a nice kill wave, which we might see CATSMILEGAMING do just based on their performance in that last map, push them all the way back to their spawn. If the hill is on your side of the map and you've got all your players up in decent positions, you can just make sure they don't get anywhere near that to throw a grenade. But if they are within grenade throwing lengths, then it's going to be a difficult hold.
Yeah, that's something maybe like I say, I've not played too much B2B, so that's something maybe I'm not aware of. And as you say, those nades, 8 players worth of grenades plus your own teammates and enemy grenades coming in, you can get hit by any number of grenades. And
yeah,
if I thought 4v4 were bad, it's gonna get worse.
I'm trying to remember myself. I believe it's still 1 grenade per player, just like in King of the Hill in 4v4. We'll see if that's the case. Or if you know in chat, please let us know. Remind me. We're not up to date on these BTB maps because they do change the versions quite a lot. And one thing that's worth saying actually is we love BTB create these game modes themselves, which is very, very good because standard BTB and Hill Open it's 12v12, so they create their own 4v4 versions. Vehicle health is nerfed by 30%. That's also worth saying if we haven't said that yet. So it makes them just not quite as strong, especially on Rat's Nest. When we get to that, that's incredibly strong with the Ghost. You can just go and splatter people like no days, and really it's quite hard to shoot somebody in a Ghost if they're kind of head on with you just because of how the bonnet is on. Is it a bonnet? Does the Ghost have a bonnet? Is it a bonnet or is it all chassis? It doesn't open.
We'll go the body of the Ghost because that way we don't get told off for it, right?
It's mid-engine.
I'd call it a bonnet, but
the Ghost is mid-engine, right? That's where the anti-gravity drive is. It's that circle thing that's in the middle.
I could not tell you.
Right, I'm doing that. I'm starting a poll. Chat, you gotta let us know. Does a Ghost have a bonnet? Does the Ghost?
On team yes. I'm putting my vote in on yes. When that poll comes.
I'm gonna go with no. I don't think it's got a bonnet.
We've got to go different, but yeah. So there's a Ghost on this map, bunch of nades. It's King of the Hill, Incubus, and
sorry, I confused you there a little bit. The Ghost isn't on this map. The Ghost
not
is
this.
on
Rat's Nest. Yeah. So Incubus has 3 layers, but wow, a Ghost like say 30% health reduction on vehicles, and we love BTB making all of these variants 8v8 is incredible. Like shout out to those guys for this work. Not only are you putting on these tournaments, you're going out of your way to go and make these game types, make sure they work, make sure they're saved, and the amount of testing these guys must do, and the community in general to help them make this. Shout out to everybody involved because I was not aware of that until you said it, Reed. That
yeah,
they make all of these themselves.
It's a little bit different as well, if you don't mind me saying. Sorry for interrupting you there.
No, that's okay.
They also, at least for last season, maybe it's a bit better now in the game, but the game used to hate changing game modes. If you changed the game modes in custom games, it would just stick you on Slayer and be like, yeah, you're playing that game mode now. Or you'd spawn in and you'd have plasma pistols. Just they would completely mess up with the settings. And it seemed to affect more so these custom game modes. So the fact that they kind of stuck with it, went through that and said, no, we're doing this. We are letting you play BTB. You are playing BTB. We're playing with our game mode. You gotta hands it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. That is some mad props. The amount of difficulties they must have faced, and honestly, this is one of the most fun things I've ever got to watch and even cast over. It's a little bit hectic, a little bit more relaxed, still some fun, still some hype moments, like that double ninja that we saw happen in the last map, which I was not expecting to see that. It was back to back, so they must have somehow between them said, right, you got the ninja now, it's my turn. And then he got the ninja. And yeah, these maps as well, they look like they've been crafted so well. And if we had some of these kind of like people designing these maps, maybe designing a few 4v4 maps, we might be a bit more excited to play 4v4 sometimes. Because some of the maps we've had introduced are a little bit boring, to say the least.
We could do with some non-CTF maps. I think I definitely agree with that. I think I can't remember who made all these maps. I know it's been around for quite a long time. I don't want to say that it was some of them made in house at We Love BTB, but I believe they had a hand in some of the maps. The map pool was slightly different when I played last, so yeah, I'm not 100% sure. If you know, again in chat, please let us know. We do have a response to our question. We had one vote gone, and the vote was "What a stupid question." So nobody seems to care whether the ghost has a bonnet or not, and it's just me that cares. And I will find this out. I will find a developer, find a designer at 343 Industries, message them and say, I want answers to this question right now.
I'm now looking up on the Halopedia to see if they have a ghost chassis. Well, I'm going to assume you're right. It might just be called a chassis by the looks of these.
You know what? I'm going to buy a plane ticket. I'm going to get on a plane right now. The next plane to Seattle. Go to Worlds. Corner Yunashek in a corner and ask him, does a ghost have a bonnet? And if he doesn't answer it or scream and say, go away from me, you crazy man, I will cry. But that aside, enough waffling gone. We have battled through the EAC anti-cheat bug and we are now in game. So hopefully we'll be bringing you gameplay any second now as we do transition along very nicely. We're going to start on the side of R8R Noble this time. Nope, screw that. We're going to CATSMILEGAMING. I don't know. Ignore me. We don't know what we're doing. 2 Warthogs on the move. Warthog and a Razorback, in fact. And looks like we're going to be going straight to that middle hill. This is the one I highlighted when we were looking at the map earlier. There's a nice little hill here. Nice sandwich between the upper and lower level, which gives you quite a bit of protection from the other players' assaults, and you can really corner those little areas where you just saw Sketsky running right now. But talk about people that know how this map goes. Sketsky had a nice little jumping pattern going there, and looks like he's definitely played enough of this one.
Literally, if you could see, I just had my mouth wide open and go, what? Like, obviously they play these maps, right? This is week 4 now for them, number 4. But I would not be remembering that, so yeah, shout out Scarcity for, please tell me you think this teammate came without vehicle.
That looks like a team kill, right? I didn't imagine that.
It looked to me, but we'll pretend that it wasn't. Shout out to the R8R guy that killed him, so that he didn't get team killed. But yeah, this map just looks so appealing to play, and with these jumps, like skill jumps, and even with these Warthogs, you know, they've got a Warthog or 2 Warthogs dead center on the hill. I see what you mean with the grenade range and how open it is. It's not quite as easy as I first thought. Obviously, CATSMILE are building up this time very nicely with about a 40-point lead. But it's not as easy as I was trying to make it out to be, where, you know, as soon as you get some slays, you get control. Like, it's free. There was a little bit of a battle for that one.
Yeah, we had an interesting little team kill there come out again for CATSMILEGAMING. But one thing that was worth exploring here a little bit, Don, is that this isn't your standard Halo Infinite King of the Hill. This is more like the old King of the Hill we used to get in the other Halo games. So the hill is up for a set amount of time. Get as much time as you can in it. It's not a, you know, winner takes all at the end of each hill. So we do have 53 seconds currently in the side of CATSMILEGAMING. This hill will be up for another 52 seconds. And it's just about who can maintain control of it for the longest. But looking at the positioning right now of the CATSMILEGAMING guys, they have full control of this, and there is nothing that can be done about it currently from R8R Noble.
Or even, this is reminding me of a hardcore. I like to say the old classic. But they're even using smokes to help their players, you know, get a bit more time. Like Frenzy just threw the shroud screen over onto Calpin and Icy Vermin and was just like, you guys can enjoy milking that time up a bit, and they're even trading out when they're weak. I'm starting to think these guys want to get a 3-1 here, and they're starting to build a strategy as they're playing. Yeah,
Hey.
honestly, fair.
I mean, R8R, they're really struggling to break this lineup. I mean, I don't know if it's just the accurate shots coming out of here from CATSMILEGAMING, but they are trying their hardest to get as much damage done on these R8R guys so they don't get anywhere near it. But it looks like R8R did get a little bit of time there on the hill, a second or two. They're trying to reinforce their position, but CATSMILEGAMING are collapsing in on them quite quickly. I do like the positioning that we have here from R8R, though. We do have 117 and Alex both positioned in a nice overlooking window position here, trying to keep all the vision points on the hill controlled. But Icy Vermin and Harshly have broken their setups a little bit and now have full vision of the hill, which is preventing R8R from getting any more time. But we'd love to see R8R manage to grab themselves the shroud screen, possibly get a little bit extra cover on the hill, give them a little bit more time, and it looks like only Frenzy now is currently in position to challenge this hill.
R8R, as you say, building up a little bit of time now. Frenzied is going to find his way around to get that angle on the play he got weak with his team. But R8R just still in control. I believe they still have the closest spawns. But Outcast is going to try and be a little bit of a nuisance in that hill. I think it was just a bit to allow his team back out of the map. But I actually like this style of King of the Hill a lot more. I like, you know, the top picking up at the bottom, and I think it just makes for a lot different plays. And these jumps, by the way, like, these players have got to be so aware of what they're doing, because if I was doing that, I'd be dropping right down to the water and not being able to get an angle on the guy.
Yeah, it was looking pretty scary there for a minute gone. So we did have basically 100 points to CATSMILEGAMING, 0 for Noble, but R8R have managed to bring that up 50 points-ish by holding onto that hill for the majority of the time it was up. I'm very happy with their performance there. They should be too. Spawns helped them out a little bit. They had the closest spawn, but they were still able to keep CATSMILEGAMING out of it with only a couple upsets here and there. We saw, for example, Warlord got his hands on the rockets. He got taken down damn quickly, so he couldn't really make much with it. I think he only got 1 kill. This hill, I remember this hill from when I was playing. This is giving me PTSD right now, gone. This hill is such a nuisance because you have basically no cover. You have a little wall, but you can be easily sidelined around it. Kalpin is on 1 kill. He's no longer goosing. Good job to him. But it's just really, really hard to hold it. It looks like Icy Vermin is in a position, but he's so exposed that basically as soon as a couple players get onto this hill, or if anybody's sat in the middle, they'll just be able to see him straight across, get a couple of nades in there, and he'll be taken down. 4 guys, I think they're just trying to push Icy Vermin, and he's still alive. And I jinxed it.
What?
Down he goes.
Wait, no, he's still up. He's still up.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I predicted that death by about 10 seconds.
How? How was he still up there? I can see why this hill haunted you, Reed, because I've not played it, and that was haunting me just watching it, that one. But yeah, they did basically split the time on that hill as well, so I'm going to assume this one's very similar. It looks like it's just across the way, but it looks like there is a bit more camo. As I say that, the camo comes into play and he gets back whacked, but there's the shroud screens, and it is definitely right now with a 70-point lead for CATSMILE. The use of these shroud screens and just maybe overall they're putting damage down and knowing where to look at where these R8R players can be a bit of a nuisance and get these angles on them from is just coming into play a lot more.
100% I agree. I do love the fact that equipment is being so important in the series. It just adds a little bit of a difference. What I'm loving right now is Icy Vermin has himself a ripped up scrap cannon trying to take down the Warhog being piloted by R8R Snip and 117. Just having a bit of a heavy artillery, heavy weapon battle going on there, which is nice. But even though they do have this Warthog out and they are getting a lot of damage dealt onto the players of CATSMILEGAMING, they're not targeting those players on the hill. And Warlord, God knows how long he's been sat there for, but he is just racking up seconds after seconds. Now 100 points separate these two teams. And with 5 minutes to go, It's looking pretty scary here for R8R, but if they get another spawn that's nearer to their base, they might see it favour them a little bit better. But we are going to go for this underbridge hill just for a little bit longer and see how this one goes for them as the next hill up.
Yeah, definitely. Again, I'm going to say it. These kinds of maps, these kinds of games are making me want to play it, because as hectic as this can be at times, it's looking so much fun. And if I'm any one of these players playing right now, I'm not mattering whether I'm in the hill, I'm out the hill, I'm 6 and 12, or I'm 12 and whatever, 15 and 6 kind of thing. Just the way that this is playing and the fun that this looks, the work that we love BTB and everybody behind who gets involved in this playing, you know, shout out to you for coming over and casting, reading, you know, showing these guys some love on the EHL channel. Like, it just looks like a community that just wants to have fun, and with the LAN event that they're hosting at the end of this as well, it can only go up from here, surely.
We do love the passion that comes from these guys. Now, welcome Only Archive. Welcome to the chat. This is your intro to Worlds. This is what Worlds is going to be. They've actually rang me up today. I had Pashi on the phone. He said we're scrapping BTB. Sorry, we're scrapping 4v4 HCS settings. We are going in with we love BTB settings. Optic V phase first map. They're going to be playing this map actually, and I'm really excited for it. Are you excited for it, God?
Absolutely, I hear Shotzi's at Worlds as well, simply to play BTB with the Optic boys, so it'd be fun to see him back on the sticks.
I actually heard that Quadrant and ITB are teaming up and becoming a Quad TB, so that's an interesting one. We're going to have those eight guys are playing BTB together.
It'd be interesting to see how two of those players get along being on the same team.
Yeah, now before any of you at Tashi and say he's ruining Halo, I have just made all that up. I know you probably know that, but just to be clear, I've made that up. Don't go raging at Tashi, he won't reply to you anyway. Now we're on to another hill, and we're still at about a 100 lead gap here for CATSMILEGAMING and R8R Noble, but CATSMILEGAMING do have control of this middle bridge. Again, doing an amazing job of controlling these hills that in theory should be the hard ones to hold, because it's just so damn open. But he's got his pushed up teammates, all 7 of them, pushed up so far forward that Outcast is able to sit here on the middle hill. He's now got rockets in his back pocket, so he's leaving harshly on the hill and going off to get a few kills. This might be a double for him if he can get it in the right angle. No, he'll just damage himself, but he will get one. Damn, that could have been so much more. That could have been so promising, but he wasn't quite able to make it happen. I do have a question for you here, Gon.
Yes.
So, you know these guys on CATSMILEGAMING. Who's surprising you right now by their BTB performance? Positive and negative.
Positively, it's got to be Frenzied. Like, he's showing that he is just loving playing the game. And then, I'm not going to call Calpin out, because I know he's not played it forever. But I'd say currently it's maybe Warlord, because you expect him, with the name that he's got, the things that he does, to maybe just be quick on the bounce to adapt the way he plays in that. But he's struggling a bit more than maybe I'd think he should.
Yeah, I mean, if you grab Warlord and all his accounts and add together total time played, it must be one of the top in Europe, right? It must be one of the most... hang on, that doesn't make any sense. He must be one of the players with the most total game time in Halo Infinite, and Halo 5 for that matter, you know, in Europe. Nice little killing frenzy there for Chaos. He is sitting here firm on 22 kills, topping the leaderboard. Kind of went a bit unnoticed. Honestly, that surprises me a little bit, because I know Chaos is great. We saw him perform incredibly well in HCS this Open. I'm trying to remember the name of the org he was playing for. It was the new one that supported the team. I cannot remember for the life of me. They did incredibly well. And honestly, I'm happy for him playing in this BTB. Thank you for the raid there, Mr. J Tracer. Thank you for joining us for some We Love BTB action. If you are not aware of what we are doing here, we are supporting the French community, We Love BTB, who are trying to open up the entirety of Europe, get you guys involved, playing some competitive 8v8 BTB on some nice new custom maps with custom game mode settings. We have CATSMILEGAMING, a team of European 4v4 legends kind of mashed together versus a full-on clan here of R8R, Remember Reach, who have a nice team here. In fact, they have 2 teams in this tournament, and this is their top team, I believe.
I think they have 3 teams, actually.
They have 3 teams?
This is indeed their top team, yeah.
Honestly, wow, amazing. So, yes, these guys are pretty legendary in the competitive BTB community. But they are struggling a little bit here at CATSMILEGAMING. We are 1-1 for the series, but this map is looking a lot more favourable towards CATSMILEGAMING, who have a nearly 200-point lead currently. But Warhog in the hands of R8R, and we've seen them do a lot more effective plays with the Warthog than we have seen from the side of CATSMILEGAMING, just because they're more used to kind of adapting vehicles into their playstyle. That'll be interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah, and I think CATSMILE have actually opted to maybe just not using the vehicles themselves anymore, because I know Outcasted was struggling to maybe utilise them to the best of his ability, but Frenzied obviously definitely can, but he's opted to just relax a bit, shoot his gun, and maybe just try and guide the CATSMILE team around the map. Yeah, like you say, the R8R guys, especially when they have those Warthogs and vehicles in hand, they look like they're very much more in tune with how BTB works as a general BTB sense. And I think that is, as I said earlier in the pre-game, to their ability. As you see, again, they're straight in a Warthog off a spawn, and they are shooting at anything and everything in the hopes to get damage down.
Yeah, indeed. I do have the rest of the rosters up, but what we'll do is we'll stick with this game for now, Gon, and then in the break, we'll go through the rosters and we'll talk through who's playing, because I have just been told in chat by Mr. Electropode that there's a couple of USA teams playing, so I was not aware that there were some teams from America playing, so I'd love to have a little bit more information on that, because I'm pretty sure all the teams that I've got listed here are full of French/European players, so if you have those rosters and names, I'd love to have a chat about them after this matchup. Now, the time is ticking here overall for this map, and the time will stay pretty solid once we have players in the hill. So now you've got to decide if you're CATSMILEGAMING. Are you going to try and run out this 2.5 minute clock, or are you going to try and time it out with hill time? Now, looking at how much hill time they already have, honestly, I think they're doing the right thing here, sticking in the hill, trying to really close it out. They have enough positioning to really make it happen. They're now breaking 350. They're over double the points here of R8R Noble. It's looking pretty rough, if I'm being honest. Gon, is there anything you think R8R could do here to really claw this one back?
Get the power weapons out of CATSMILEGAMING's hands, because as much as they're taking the vehicles, I think it's been all CATSMILEGAMING when it comes to these rockets on this map, and that is definitely one thing that is getting a lot of splash damage, if not a kill. Obviously, we saw Outcasted when he had them, unfortunately, damage himself as well as getting. But overall, those and the scrap cannons, as you said, you know, Frenzied had one in him, Icy Vermin had one in his hands at some point. Utilising them seems to be having more of an advantage over just the vehicle play and the controlling of the vehicles, as you see. Remember Reach coming in with the Razorback and getting cut down.
He tried his best. I love the passion there from 117. Pushes into a hill of 6 people in the Razorback all by himself, and lasts for about 2 milliseconds before he gets taken out there by a lot of DMRs. But yeah, it was an interesting map, and I did enjoy it. Wasn't as close as I'd hoped it would have been, because I really did expect a little bit better performance there out of R8R, just from how they performed in that first CTF. But we do have another, I want to say, objective mode coming up next. Let me just refresh my memory.
I believe it is another CTF,
yes,
potentially.
We're going to be doing 1 flag. So we're doing 1 flag on Peatland. So I do remember playing Peatland. It's a little bit like Valhalla, but a bit bigger, a bit more rocks, teleporters, that kind of stuff. Valhalla being the Halo 3 and remade in Halo 4. Did it have the same name in Halo 4? Or did it have a different name? Remember? You're a bit younger than me.
I don't know, honestly.
Tell me in chat. There you go. There's another thing, chat. Is Valhalla named Valhalla in Halo 4? Who knows? Anyway, it's a bit similar to that. You know, lots of trees, greenery, kind of beam towers, all that kind of stuff. But it's one flag, so really favors a lot of team cohesion because even if you get one round of slays, you basically need to get constant spawn kills after spawn kills if you really want to get away with that flag. Just because the enemy's team just spawns literally right on top of where the flag is. So if you can't clear them out and do enough damage over time, then even if you get one full squad wipe, you're just not going to be able to get away with that flag. So I'll be interested to see how this goes. But I did say they're a little bit gone that we were going to chat through some of the teams that are playing in this tournament. And let's do so. And I believe you're going to remember, you're going to know some of these guys from the past. So let's start off with a little known team, which I believe we've already mentioned once here gone. Mr. BH3. You know BH3. Everyone knows BH3. Great guys.
Yeah.
They have two rosters in this event. So you have BH3 Esports, which is featuring quite a few players, some of which I know, some of which I don't know. So BH3 Goalbots and Stocker, I remember from playing 4v4, playing ranked. They're the captain and co-captain. A couple players as well. So Snagger, Sunriz. Everyone knows Sunriz. He's off in America right now, doing us proud there on Old Ascending Baseline EU. Tommy, Knuckles, Squale, Hurricane, bunch of few people. We then also have Katrina FR. We know Katrina FR. They put together a team for the ranked 4v4s we do here in Europe. One of the best teams in Europe. They have Brainiac captaining them with. I always get this one wrong. Is it Nakache?
I believe it's Nakache, yeah.
Nakache. Again, Nakache has subbed in for Katrina FR quite a few times in some of those HCS events, so I'm familiar with him, along with the famous Bastos, Kali, Infamy, Ifushi, Desire, Sigma, Ninja. Great guys. Then we have the other BH3 team, so Toxic Sushi. A bunch of guys I'm not too familiar with, so Drax and Crom I recognise, Falcon and Heavy I also recognise. Bilex, actually I noticed a few of these guys now that I start reading the names out. But anyway, another nice group of guys, again, also majoritively French there. There's a team called Magin. This team I'm less familiar with. This might be the American teams that we've mentioned about. Again, I'm glad that they've come to join us. And then Cartel. Hopefully you know some of these guys. So we have Kronos and Seeker. You heard of them before?
Might have a little bit. I think there's an SLG on that roster as well somewhere.
Possibly. They ring a maybe. I don't know. Who knows? We're just pulling your leg. Obviously, a couple players there from Quadrant playing on the team for Cartel. Again, a pretty French roster here. Azamat, As, Musyung, so squad, and then we have another R8R team here with R8R Legacy, featuring again a few people that I'm less familiar with. I think I've played against quite a lot of them, but you know, occasionally. Ghost, Funkill, Starkill. So yeah, I'm liking these rosters, and I'm liking the kind of breadth of players we have here. Now, I believe both CATSMILEGAMING and R8R Noble that we're watching here are sort of tied to 3rd and 4th. So if I had to make a guess, I believe it would be Katrina FR and then maybe Cartel at 1 and 2. But again, Electric, if you're still in chat, I'd love to know kind of roughly where they sit, and we will know. I do love this gun. People keep hopping in chat asking if we got drops, but we never said we had drops. There's no drops listed anywhere. We do not have drops. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so at the end of week 3, I'm not sure how it changed, but it's Katrina FR and BH3 Esport are top 2. Oh. And then Noble and CATSMILEGAMING, and Cartel are currently down in 10th. Which I'm wondering if that is just because maybe a few of those players on Cartel are obviously practicing for that little known thing you've mentioned of HCS Worlds, I think, or something that's going on this weekend.
Yeah, it's a minor event. Regional.
Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, obviously we are in this game, and we have been having fun over the top of it, but it's very much how we saw the first one go, with R8R Noble here, Reed, taking that one flag lead, but it's not in overtime right now, and obviously this is a central flag that you take back to your base, I believe, that we're watching here.
Is it? No. So let's explain how this goes. So, in fact, you know what? Let's try this one out. Does this work? Mr. Producer, this would be great to have a free cam fly through over the flag spawn and that area of the map. Quite a wide angle. That would be great. So, we have the team of CATSMILEGAMING on the defense. So they basically have to defend this flag for as long as they can. It is lifted up on top of a bit of a podium here in the beam tower. So even though it looks like it's kind of in the middle of the map, the players on R8R have to wrap around the side of the beam tower before they can get up towards the flag. We have, CATSMILEGAMING is spawned sort of towards the ocean here, cliff edge at the back. They have a teleporter there, which would teleport them a little bit further up the map if they want to, or they can push directly up towards the flag. And essentially, they have to keep this flag as defended as possible. R8R have to grab it. They can jump straight off that beam tower if they want and skip taking the stairs. That'll be a bit of a quicker route. Get them back to their base and basically get as many flags as they can in however long we have here. I can't see because the clock's gone. But however long we've got left in this match, in this first round. Then as they rack up as many flags as they can, we'll then switch. We'll have R8R Noble be on the defense, and if we end up with a tie, we'll go into overtime. Essentially, each team gets a chance to capture as many flags as they can. So 5 minutes 30 seconds here remaining for CATSMILEGAMING, and it looks like we have a flag pull here going for R8R Noble. Can we see 117 get it off the beam tower, get it into a good spot for his team? Not quite. He probably could have done something a bit more with those rockets, just as you mentioned. But oh, a nice ghost in the map as well.
Ooh. Now, is it a bonnet or a chassis?
No one cares. No one cares.
Let's not start that again. Yeah, you're too busy planning your way of getting Tashi to tell you. But yeah, definitely could have done a lot more with those rockets when he pulled that flag. Unfortunately, wasn't able to. But this is actually quite a fun mode to watch, and Alpin proving, to your point, just how hard it is to shoot over and get the kill when you're head on against the ghost.
Yeah, it's super difficult to shoot over that bonnet, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's now Scarcity just sitting with the rockets and playing, well, the rocket. Just kind of playing to maybe not waste it right now, because I think that's actually going to be very vital the later we get into this time on the map. Yeah, thank you for sharing with me how this even works, because I didn't realise that this was one team defends and one team sort of like attacks. It's going to be interesting to see how the teams decide to kind of play this differently, because R8R have 4 minutes left on the clock. They've already got one cap, and it looks like CATSMILE are just having 2 people sit directly on the flag. Everybody else. Scarcity,
Double
I know
kill.
Bastard has killed his teammates, but please, bro, you can't be doing that.
Hey, it's a legitimate double. He can take that one. Honestly, if I was outcasted, I wouldn't be too mad. He stopped the guy from getting the flag. He saved the flag for a little bit longer. It was worth it. But we're seeing the vice be kind of tightened in here on CATSMILEGAMING as the side bases do start getting taken over by Noble. If Noble are able to maintain that positioning, if it is just one player right now, but if AZ Kurum can hold that one for just a little bit longer, his team can push up, grab that flag, shove it in that warthog and bring it back to the base. That'll take him up to 2. One flag actually isn't that bad. It can be very hard to capture a flag on this map, so if they can just get through with 1, then fair enough. But if they can manage to get another one and push here with 2, then even better. Snip wasn't quite able to take down Frenzy there to grab the flag, but you know, that Warhawk's still out and about. Still a definite chance in these next 3 minutes they could get away with it. Sniper is in the hand of Species, so if he can get himself maybe into that side tower position, he might be able to take down quite a few players. That would be interesting to see. Honestly, this is going pretty well for them. I'm liking it.
Yeah, and it just looks so tough to get this flag out. And I think the first flag they actually got out pretty quickly, so CATSMILE have done well to obviously, you know, slow down the pushes of Remember Reach. And I definitely want to play this game mode. I've said it through everything, but BTB, I've not really given it a chance. I've just got bored. But 8 versus 8 version of BTB looks, especially with what these We Love BTB lot have put on, it looks a lot of fun. And like you say, those side bases, so important to whoever can control this map. And I think CATSMILE actually have control of them right now, but that Warthog is just creating such a distraction. And now it's going to be Falters, who is actually struggling a little bit this map, you know, pulling that flag out.
Yeah, I know, good pull there, but good job there by Warlord, just able to shut down the flagpole before it gets taken off the edge. But luckily Alex was there in the background to grab the flag, keep it on the move. Archery there gets interrupted again by another player on the side of R8R Noble. Wasn't quite able to take down Alex. That flag is on the run. Basically, this one's going in. Bing bang bosh. There we go. Second flag in. That's going to be a hard score for CATSMILE Gaming to beat, I reckon, when we switch this one over. We may be going to a map 5 here on, which is just amazing. I love to see it, even if it is going to be a Slayer afterwards, which may be a little bit worrying for R8R Noble, but I would be happy if they can push us to a map 5. Thank you, KD, in the chat. Ragnarok was what Valhalla was called in Halo 4. I had a feeling in the back of my head it was different. Thank you for being passionate and actually holding on to let us know. So, thanks for that. But yeah, so if 30 seconds left here, Don, I'd be very surprised if we saw another flag here go for Noble. But if we don't see that happen, then we will see 2 flags on the board for Noble, and we'll see switch to the second half. A good use there of damn, what even is that gun called? See, this is why I play.
MLS2 Hydra.
The Hydra. I play so
Hydra,
much ranked, I don't even remember. Yeah, so the Hydra is actually incredibly strong on this map, just because that Ghost is such a damn nuisance. I remember getting so mad at the Ghost because it could basically spawn kill you if you let it live for so long. But you know, there we go. Round is over. That is 2 flags to the side of R8R Noble. We have to see 3 flags go to CATSMILE Gaming if they want to take this for a win, or 2 if they want to push it for another round, I believe. I believe that's how this works in overtime, but again, I will get corrected if that's incorrect.
And you see, remember Reach straight away pushing out on that right-hand side, like, they're not wanting to stay so passive in the base like maybe we saw CATSMILE were. And yeah, that is the Warthog that pushed straight into the base, getting absolutely slaughtered. As now they just have the Ghost to play around with. But it actually looks like the defense of R8R, you know, starting off really strong. And maybe that's what you expect. They do, I guess, get a little bit of an advantage, you know, having to be able to set up with that defense. But this Ghost now coming into play, got Icy Vermin on it, and
see, that's not very nice.
Yeah, he's a little bit upset he's not in the Ghost, clearly. But yeah, just doing some damage down with this, and it's a difference because I thought maybe both sides would have a vehicle or something, but it makes sense for the attackers to just be the ones with a vehicle. And no, it would be really nice to see do R8R maybe take control of one of these vehicles for themselves if they can get into it and find a different way of getting aggressive onto CATSMILE, or whether they are just comfortable in what they're doing. But I say that the flag is being pulled. There's a chance that they get a nice early cap and then they can do what R8R did and work their way in.
That was exactly what I was going to say. You took the words right out of my mouth. The vehicles are super strong and you do not want them to fall into the hands of the defenders. I mean, I don't want to say that the Ghost enabled that cap completely, but the Ghost was a major factor for that cap going through. Now, the R8R guys have practiced enough that they know exactly what to do. As you can see right now on your screen, they need to concentrate fire on that Ghost whenever it's being a nuisance. They need to say, hey, the Ghost is here, everybody unload on him, right? That's basically the only way you can take it down. Or get one of those power weapons, try and get yourself rockets or sniper. But again, those power weapons do spawn slightly in the favour of the CATSMILE Gaming squad just being the attackers. So, yeah, but if we do see R8R Noble get their hands on the Ghost, then they can pull on a very good defense here. As maybe wasn't the best thing there to reveal your position to the Ghost. Didn't work out too well for you, but even though they have let a flag slip through already, R8R Noble do seem to have the better team cohesion. They seem to have the better team placement. We saw that both from when they were attacking and also now when they're on the defense. But they just seem to be falling foul of the better slaying ability of the CATSMILEGAMING squad.
Yeah, and Warlord did not know where he was going through that teleporter there. Just gets absolutely caught out at the back of the R8R bench. But gotta give a shout out to Icy Vermin. He was alive for so long in that ghost, no matter how much damage was put down onto him. And I know there's those repair barriers in the game. I'm not sure if We Love BTB kind of have those disabled or maybe not put them on the maps at all, because I'd have loved to see maybe if there was one of them on the map, Icy Vermin get one thrown on him, that ghost repaired, and see what kind of damage he could have caused again with that, because you've said 30% reduction in the health of the vehicles, but that felt like he was in it for about 2.5, 3 minutes, unkillable still.
Yeah, you can imagine what that was like in the original game modes when you don't have that reduction. So the fact that there's just like not like a massive pool of snipers and rockets and stuff everywhere means that you either have to be super efficient with those power weapons, or yeah, you know, reduce the health those vehicles have. But honestly, I'm glad they don't have the repair field in this map. If they did, it would just be absolutely broken. It would be way too strong. So I'm glad that they have decided not to put it on the map and really work around that, because I know you said that you know, you do have the power to deal with it, but you can't always count on being in a position to use the rockets. You may have to waste it just to keep yourself alive, and if you do waste it, or if it does fall to the enemy team, then it is going to be super ineffective at taking down those vehicles. I mean, if you can't shoot it, you've got no bullets left, right? And then if you don't have any bullets left in your rockets left in your launcher, then you're just complete bait. So I like the fact that it's very reduction. I think it does work very, very well.
You see that there's a chance here if CATSMILE Frenzy did go down. So I was about to say there's a chance here if CATSMILE can get close. Frenzy is in control of the R8R base to maybe get a second cap and then push for that third. Was saying about the start, but those spawns coming in clutch for R8R. You're right back in your base every single time, helping you get all that damage down. There was a camo play. I think it was on Chaos CB. And I think that's what that shroud screen is coming in for. They also have the Razorback set at the bottom. So I'm not sure if this is something CATSMILE are trying to work, where maybe somebody drops in with the camo and the flag to then get driven all the way back to base and get that second flag in. Maybe a little bit above Warlord's pay grade.
Yeah, I believe that was the plan, and honestly, the pieces all fell into place. The only thing that didn't fall into place is that there was so many R8R guys on top of the flag that as soon as Connor picked up that flag, he was just backsmacked instantly. So Chaos did not last very long with his camo flag run at all. Don't know if you're aware of this, God, but I'm going to say it as if you're not, so that I can tell chat. The Razorback is actually a really effective vehicle for one flag, or just CTF in general, because you don't even need a driver. If you are quick enough and slick enough, you can just place the flag in the vehicle with no player having to hold it. It just kind of sits on the back on a nice little stand, and then you can drive it. So if you're just one guy all by yourself and no one else is alive, you can grab that flag, shove it on the back of the Razorback, drive yourself back into base. Perfect. Bing bang bosh. I'd love to see that happen. Now a nice little shroud screen popped out there by Calpin onto the flag carrier. I believe it was Hartley, but he did manage to get the flag off the top of the podium. So if we can see a player like Icy Vermin here grab this flag and get it on the move, we may see this get all tied up. 2 and 2. 3 minutes left for CATSMILEGAMING to take this map and end this series 3-1, but it's not yet over.
Okay, we need to study how Icy Vermin even gets to stay alive for as long as he does every time he's alive, because even running that flag, I don't think he should have stayed alive that long. But Frenzied is now the one in the base. I think he must have been helping, getting that damage down in that ghost, just being an absolute nuisance. He's not even hitting bullets on these players, but he's putting them so close that it's forcing them to back up into teammates' grenades or other teammates' shots. Frenzied, you've let me down with a caster curse there, buddy.
That's your fault. That's not Frenzy's fault. That's your fault. Now, looking at these kills on either side, we have Scarcity just breaking the big 3-0 mark, sitting there with the sniper, taking off a few heads, taking a few names as well. I'm liking this very much. I'm not quite sure if this is just me, but the audio seems a little bit out of sync. I don't know if we're getting the audio from the wrong feed or something, but maybe we'll try and work that out for you.
Yeah, I was about to say, am I hearing sniper shots?
I don't know, maybe we'll work that out for you guys soon, but one thing that is worth saying is a player on R8R has dropped. I don't know if you noticed, we are actually in a 7v8 situation, and if I remember the We Love BTB rules correctly, there's a couple minutes grace. I believe it's 2 minutes. It might be less, might be more than that. Of the players next, you can restart. But if you exceed that limit and they fall out maybe 5-10 minutes into the game, then they can rejoin and get back into the lobby. But there's no restarts. So that puts R8R at an immediate disadvantage, and it looks like we may see this third flag going in, which would be CATSMILEGAMING pegged in to win this series.
Yeah, and it is AZ Kieran that is unfortunately the guy that dropped. And he honestly, I think, was one of the players.
Overkill for Harshly.
Is he going to get the kill tag? No, not enough time, and Scarcity obviously gets it as well. But yeah, as you say, an 8v7 right now, and Chaos just running the flag back. Really happy, he's confident, and now he gets to go back with his team. And I'd love for AZ Kieran to get back in this game, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen at the moment. Looks like it's going to be a 7 versus 8 for R8R Noble to start the attack potentially on this if it goes to another round, or...
I think that's it, dude. I think that's over. CATSMILEGAMING got an extra flag, and we are now pushing it through. That's a 3-1 win there for CATSMILEGAMING. And you can't say that R8R didn't put up a good fight. I feel bad for them because they really struggled there by dropping a player, right? And going down to 4. I'm trying to work out who it was that dropped. If I have a look at like number of kills, does that help me work it out who it
I think it was that AZ Kieran, right? Was he on that roster just then?
He was. Yeah. Did he drop?
Yeah, because I didn't see him on their team at the end there. So I think it might have been him. And like I say, I think he was one of the players that I've seen play, and I know he's very good with his shot in 4 versus 4. And I think he plays a lot of BTB as well. In fact, I'm not even thinking that. I know that. Because this guy's always been in these We Love BTB tournaments. And I think losing a player like that at such a time where they still put up a great defense, they just unfortunately wore that player down, I think is incredible for them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for them because that's the way that this one ends for them. But they shouldn't be too disheartened. They did put up a very good fight, and they did manage to win that first map and push pretty hard with that third map now onto the 4th. I'm hoping maybe production could bring us up the maps again with the scores so we can talk through them. I want to actually just have a quick look. This won't be on stream, but I can see it here on my side monitor as I look at amount of damage dealt. So when we look at damage dealt between these two teams, we have 9k damage for Scarcity, 8.4k damage for Species, the two top players on either team. And even at a BTB of this length, that is an incredibly high amount of damage, and they should be pretty happy with how this performed. So yeah, we have CATSMILEGAMING taking map 1, map 2 went to R8R Noble, and then map 3 and 4 both went to CATSMILEGAMING. CATSMILEGAMING did look very dominating in that King of the Hill. They just had the better positioning. And Peatland, both teams did very, very well, but I'm not going to say it's just because that player dropped out, because it did look like CATSMILEGAMING were maybe playing a little bit stronger. They're able to make a very good, efficient use of that ghost, as you pointed out yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe we do have a few replays of, obviously, this whole series. And you got to say, as you said, R8R Noble, that first map and then the second map that they were able to win, it was close throughout. And they did get the first cap at some stage on this map. And I'm pretty sure it was quick for this original just plain CTF. And you see, the kills were in the favor heavily of CATSMILE, but in the BTBs like this, Reed, they are not everything. And there it is. They were one flag up on map one. Unfortunately, they did lose, but then this map two, it just felt like, or is this map three even? Sorry, this King of the Hill. Map three, it just felt like CATSMILE finally got themselves comfortable. They knew what they wanted to do, and kind of like the players who played a lot of BTB in the past stepped up a bit here.
Yeah, I feel like this CATSMILE gaming squad, the more and more they play in these We Love BTB tournaments, they are getting a little bit more experience with how to actually play these maps. A nice little ending there to our replays of a teammate being shot in the back of the head. It was kind of his own fault. We jumped in front of it. He deserved that one. We have Outcasted here. GG. You've hopped in the chat. You did it. You've taken your team through to a victory. It was a hard-fought battle, but you managed to do it. That puts you in third place, I believe. Admins will finish when the week is finished, I'm sure. Yeah, sorry, there was no game audio there recorded for the replays, but we had them in our mind. So thank you guys for joining us. We've not really got much more to say here. We just wanted to cover this nice, brilliant BTB map, so you guys had something to watch and something to see pre-Worlds. We are gonna be not doing anything else this weekend. Sit back, relax, watch HCS, watch LVT. LVT are going to be doing a little fireside chat type thing, I believe, for the open bracket. Not open bracket, there's no open bracket at Worlds, but doing a little fireside chat type thing at Worlds. So feel free to give them a watch and see what's going on. And then next week we have our first winter event coming up. So if you would like to play in that, this is going to be just a generic 4v4 bracket style tournament. This is separate from our main season. First, we're just going to have people hop on, rack up a few EHL points, which is a new system we're going to be starting, and really try their best at getting back into the swing of things after a little bit of a void period here that there has been since the last Opens and Worlds here. So it's been about a month since we've had any big competitive 4v4 tournaments in Europe. So we'll get this one kicking off next week, and we'd love to see you sign up. We'll be posting about that onto our socials recently. I'd like to thank Gon for joining me. I'd like to thank the We Love BTB guys for putting on this event. Maybe we'll be back with some more BTB action here for one of these later matches. Who knows? But we'll keep you guys involved on our socials. If you're not on our Discord, hop in there, and thanks for watching. So, see you soon.